Hi Travis, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and here is your gorgeous Stinger 1200. And this is your final test video, and in this video we're going to go over the basic operation of the machine. You may already be familiar with this machine, but in case you're not, or if you just want a little brush up, the information will be here. We'll show you how to thread the machine, how to wind the bobbin, and how to work all the various controls. So without further ado, let's wind the bobbin. You find your bobbin down here below the slide plate. It takes a class 66 bobbin. That's one that's slightly rounded on the top and the bottom. And let's see, I'm going to pull this old pink thread off of here. And let's see. I have a sewing project that I'm going to be working on, and I might do a little bit of it on your machine as I run it through its paces. I wish I had some navy blue, but I don't. My little dog doesn't have a whole lot of hair. I mean, he's got very short hair on his underside, and it's rather sparse. So I'm cutting down the toddler's jacket to fit him. We'll see how that goes. It'll be one of my first sewing projects. Well, you know, I sew miles and miles of test seams, and I've made little things and fixed my clothes, but this is the first time I've actually tried to create something. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so to wind a bobbin, put your spool on this spool pin down here, go into the bobbin winder tensioner, and put your thread through any one of the holes on the bobbin. Easier said than done. Okay. I usually put a few wraps on the bobbin just to hold the thread in place while it winds. And then with the thread going on over the top this way, slide it onto the bobbin winder and turn it until the keeper pin goes into the small hole on the side of the bobbin. Press the bobbin winder towards the hand wheel until the finger drops down inside, and as the bobbin winds, it's going to slowly fill and lift this lever until when the bobbin is full, it pops loose and quits winding. Declutch your machine by turning the chrome knob in the center of your hand wheel towards you, half a turn or so. And plug your machine in. Thank goodness for editing, huh? All right. So in the tensioner, bobbin winder is pressed in towards the hand wheel, chrome knob is loosened, and away we go. Looks like it's filling nice and evenly. That should be plenty for our test. Black thread against the black machine, it's kind of invisible. Pop the finger up to release the bobbin winder, reclutch the hand wheel, and since this is a Singer, okay, on this Singer, the thread comes off the top of the bobbin winder in this direction. Drop the bobbin into the bobbin erase, and guide your thread into this little slot on the back of the hook until it clicks into place. To thread the machine, put your spool on the spool pin. Go into the top thread guide down between the discs of the tension assembly all the way around until you pick up the little thin check spring. And keep on going until your thread goes into the notch at the top of the tension assembly. Then up and through the take-up lever from right to left. Pick up the thread guide on the faceplate, thread guide on the needle bar, on the needle clamp, and let's see, is there another thread guide down there? No, I guess not. Okay. And on this one, it threads through the needle in the opposite direction of most machines. It threads from right to the left. Let's put a clean, fresh end on that. Makes it much easier to stick through the eye of the needle. Hold your thread loosely. Turn the hand wheel towards you one full revolution. The needle will take the thread down where the hook will pick it up and wrap it around the bobbin and bring up your lower thread. There it is, lower thread. Sounds like you guys are pretty sewing machine savvy, but I'm going to tell you all this stuff anyway. This is your stitch length, and from the center position going down, your stitches get longer and longer and longer and longer until your longest stitches are at the bottom. From the center going up, your stitches get longer and longer and longer, but in reverse. To lock it so that your stitches are the same length in forward and reverse, just loosen this little thumb screw and bring it up until it makes contact with the lever. And then your stitches will be the same length, forward and reverse. We're going to leave it wide open so we can do whatever we want. This is your tension, obviously. When I restore a machine, I usually set it so that your average tension for regular thread and fabric is 3. And you adjust it up or down as needs be from that position till you have a nice looking stitch. This is something I don't remember on this machine, why it does not have a sewing foot pressure knob on top, unless this is the sewing foot pressure knob. And it's all the way down. Yeah, that is, okay. I don't know why it would be screwed all the way down, but we'll get to the bottom of that right away. Make sure my thread is not trapped by the faceplate. Okay. This is your sewing foot pressure adjuster. And you want just enough pressure so that the feed dogs move the fabric along with authority. any more than that, depending on how delicate your material is, it could mar the fabric. So, okay, so let's see. Oh, light switch. Is there anything I forgot to mention? Oh, your pressure foot lifter is this mechanism on the back, and to use this you'll have to get a table that has the appropriate knee lever to move it along. Otherwise you just use your regular needle bar or pressure bar lifter. Okay, let's see. Dare I? I think I dare. Hey, what do you think, little doggy coat? This is a little thick. This might be a problem. I might have to go to some other fabric for this. I think I'll do a fairly long stitch length for that. Like I said, I've sewn a lot of test seams, but this is a little different. Do I need a pin? Okay, now we're going to go over a seam. We'll see how that goes. Not bad. Yeah, it's starting to get cold out and it's crappy. It's been chilly. Doesn't really like putting on a coat, but he does like being warm. There you have it, my first actual attempt at a sewing project, very first seam, and you were there. Not too bad. Used to be a hood, now it's a collar. Yeah, I can't think of much more to say. Once a year you should open your 2 grease tubes here and add a little Singer motor grease to it. It's a special grease that melts at just the right viscosity to get up into the gear housing here. Oil your machine after every 8 or so hours of sewing, whether it's 8 hours all in one day or 2 hours one day and 4 hours the next, and so on and so forth. Regular sewing machine oil. I think that I have a user manual that I can send you for this. But you'll see the oil holes here, and there are movement points under the faceplate. Just take the faceplate off, turn your hand wheel, look for every place where parts move against each other, and put a drop of oil at each of those points. You want to put a drop of oil at where the hook spins in its race here, or where the hook spins around the bobbin. And while you're in there, you should take this needle plate off and brush and vacuum out the dust and lint. And of course, on the underside, there are, again, movement points. Just look for everything that moves and make sure it gets a drop of oil. Under each of these caps, there's a gear assembly that can use just a little smear of grease on the 4 cardinal points of the gear. Your feed drop is under here. This knurled thumb screw here. Just screw it out all the way. It won't come out, but you'll know when it's done. And then you can drop your feed. Put the feed back. You can actually put it part way down if you're doing delicate. Oh, maybe you can't. No, I guess you can't. I thought there were 3 holes. This one only has 2, so you can lock it in the up position, or you can lock it in the down position. I'm going to leave it locked in the up position. Make sure it goes into the threaded hole. Screw it down till it's snug. This is the, right here is the bottom of your lifter for your for the presser bar. So you'll maybe you already have one, but if not, someday you may want to get a table that has the knee lifter built into it. And in the back here, there's another gear right up here, and you'll be able to see the points that you're oiling through the oil holes in this area. Make sure you get everything. Again, turn your hand wheel, make sure that you're getting a little drop of oil in each of those spots where it moves. If you're using the knee bar lifter, add a drop of oil at each of the movement points on that. Got an oil hole there. And that's about it. You've got a really awesome sewing machine. Should last you for the rest of your life and well beyond that. And we'll make a date and meet up in Portland and drop off your machine to you. And I'll get this video done and send it out to you. And thank you so much. This came at a very good time. I have something special that I wanted to do that I needed a little extra cash influx for, and you guys made it happen. So thanks, and we'll see you soon.